Welcome to week 2, day 1. We're going to be dividing fractions with whole numbers and mixed numbers. So there's 3 words you need to know to be able to do this lecture. Those words are keep, change, flip. Why are they so important? Let me show you. When we divide with fractions, the easiest method to use is the keep, change, flip method. So for this example, we have 3/4 divided by 2/5. So we're going to keep the first fraction the same, 3/4. Then we change, which is the C, dividing to multiplying. And finally, we're going to flip the last fraction, making 2/5 5/2. And then we can simply multiply. So we have 15/8. Now, when I say flip, a lot of math books and math teachers are going to tell you that that is multiplying by the reciprocal. So let me define reciprocal for you now. A reciprocal is what to multiply a value by to get 1. It's also called the multiplicative inverse. We got an answer of 15/8 for this problem, right? Which means we have an improper fraction, which is to say our numerator is bigger than our denominator. So what we have to do is to go ahead and divide 15 divided by 8. When we do that, we get, 1 and 7/8. So 1 is your answer here. Your remainder is your numerator, and 8, your divisor, is your denominator. So 15/8 as a mixed number is 1 and 7/8. Our first big question is, how do we divide fractions with whole numbers? Let's take a look at an example to figure this one out. We have 8 divided by 3/4. So what do we do here? Well, we follow the same method, keep, change, flip. So 8 stays the same, we multiply, and 4/3. So instead of writing 8, we can write it as a fraction, 8/1. You can put anything you want over 1 and it doesn't change a thing. So 8 times 4 is 32, and 1 times 3 is 3. Again, we have an improper fraction, so we're going to go ahead and divide. So we're going to have 32 divided by 3. Before we do that, this is a good time to introduce 2 more vocabulary words, the dividend and the divisor. So 32 is our dividend. Let's look at the definition of dividend. A dividend is a number to be divided by another number. In our example, 32 was the dividend. The number 3 is called the divisor. Let's look at the definition of the divisor. A divisor is a number used to divide another number. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and divide. 3 goes into 32 10 times with a remainder of 2. So we have an answer of 10 and 2/3. Very good. Let's move on to one more example. Here we have 7/8 divided by 4. So we're going to keep, change, flip. 7/8 times 1/4. What does that give us? Well, 7/32. And we actually have a regular fraction that can't be simplified. Excellent. We're done with that example. Okay, let's move on to our second big question. How do we divide fractions with mixed numbers? Well, to answer this question, let's also look at a few examples. In our first example, we have 3/5 divided by 1/2. So there's an extra step here when you have a mixed number. You have to convert it into an improper fraction. So we have 3/5 divided by 3/2. If you don't remember how to do that, you can simply multiply the whole number by the denominator and add the numerator. So 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3, and then the denominator stays the same. So we have 3/5 divided by 3/2. That's going to give us 3/5 times 2/3, giving us an answer of 6/15. This one can be simplified. We can divide by 3, and we get 2/5. So our answer to this problem is 2/5. Let's do one more example. In our final example, we have 2 1/3 divided by 4. Okay, again, we have to convert our mixed number into an improper fraction. So we have 7/3, right? 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and the denominator stays the same. times 1 over 4. This is going to equal 7 over 12. And look at that, we don't have to do a thing. Our answer is 7/12. Now that we've done a lot of examples, I'd like you to try some of these questions on your own. So go ahead and click the download button in the upper left hand corner. That's going to have a PDF where you can do your homework. There are 4 questions. When you finish, come back here and I will show the answers at the end of this video. So go ahead and hit pause now because I'm going to do the questions in 3, 2, 1. For our first question, we have 2/3 times 1 over 12, which equals 2 over 36, which equals 1 over 18. That's your first answer. Question number 2 is going to be 5 times 6 over 1, which is just 30. 5 times 6 is 30. Question number 3, 1/5 times what? 12 over 5. The reciprocal is 5 over 12. Now you could do 5 over 60 and get 1/12 that way. But a cool way to do this is to cross simplify. So you have a 5 in the bottom and a 5 on top. You can cancel those out and just end up with 1 over 12. Either way, your answer is 1/12. On the last question, we have 4 and 1/6 divided by 2/3. That's going to be 25 over 6, right? 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Divided by, we'll change that to multiplying, 3 over 2 using the reciprocal. And we get 75 over 12. And we can simplify this by dividing by 3. That's going to give us 25 over 4. And then if you turn that into a mixed number, you're going to have 6 and 1/4. All right, we will see you back for day number 2. Bye for now.